What's up, guys, and welcome to the first ever Fair Shake podcast, where we bring you guys just about everything from video games to movies to TV shows to entertainment all around. I'm your host, Felipe Savage, and with me, as always, the best of the best lineup of co hosts. So I'm going to throw it over to the main man, the one, the only, Chris.
What's up, guys? My name is Chris. Follow me on all socials, Killer Ghost. Uh, Biggest Mets fan you ever meet. I hope you guys like this podcast. Just a couple of boys just chopping it up about video games, movies, TV, etc. And let's on to the next one.
What's up, guys? Your boy Kev, aka Young Boy Keeve. Fuck the Mets. We on the Bronx Bombers on this side. But I'm gonna leave it to my man's pro.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Just like everyone said, it's self-explanatory. Hope we see you guys next week and every week after that. And on to the first episode of Fair Shake.
Nice. What an amazing start to the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to just start off with some topics today. I'll go first today, guys, if that's okay with everybody else. Well, my topic today is with The Witcher being on Netflix and it being a book and a game and then converted to a TV show. You guys, what do you guys think? What video game, so to say, would be a good movie or TV show? I'm gonna start us off right now, and I'm gonna say one game that I've always loved, and that every time I've played the campaign, I don't know about y'all, but Gears of War campaign stands out to me the most.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I really think that every campaign, even though the multiplayer of the games are sometimes up in the air, the campaigns are always amazing. So I would personally take the Gears of War franchise and convert it into a TV show. It has a great main character in Marcus Phoenix, and I'm talking about this guy is the pinnacle of main characters in video games. I think that every time I see him in a campaign or like when they show like a cinematic, I get like super ecstatic. Like, man, what's gonna happen next? I think that if they made Gears of War into a TV show, not only would it be the next, let's say, Game of Thrones. I'm putting it up there right now.
I don't know about that
I'm
one.
putting it
I'm gonna be
right up
kind of
there
honest.
I don't know
right
about that
now.
one.
I'm putting my bottom
Just in
dollar.
my opinion, I feel like to make Gears of War into a show, right, a full-fledged show, you got to think about the constant. Once you set up like the human aspect of it, right? They all wear that body armor. Once wardrobe does that, okay, fine. But then you have your locusts that have many different variations. Now to drop money, you need a network that is willing to pay for that. That kind of
Netflix.
Disney.
Netflix.
right?
Netflix is hands down
understand?
would take that idea and run with it, and not only would it be better than Game of Thrones, because Gears of War campaign is better than the entire Game of Thrones.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
It
about
has
that.
just
I don't
about
know.
everything.
I highly
It
That's a
has
disagree.
just
stretch for
about
me.
everything. Guys, listen to me. And for the viewers out there, listening right now.
We're gonna give you your fair shake, but
Give it a fair
I'm
shake.
just
Give it-
throwing
give
it
it a
out there
fair
right now.
shake.
I don't
Give it a
I
thought.
don't think what you're saying
Give
makes
it a thought.
sense.
Okay.
Right
Go
now.
ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Who doesn't want to see monsters come out the ground? Boom. Right there. Monsters
It'll-
coming out
it'll-
the ground.
It'll work,
Vehicles
but
revving.
you saying
That's
it's
not
better
like-
than Game of Thrones? Nah.
I don't think that's
100%.
revolutionary though. Like, how
100%.
many monsters have we seen come out of the ground? Like,
Name
It'll
one,
work.
Kev.
It'll
Name
work.
one.
Tremors,
my
monsters
God.
coming out of
That's
the
a
ground.
classic.
Tremors isn't good.
That's a classic.
Yeah, but it's you said a monster that comes out of the ground.
True,
That's a film
true.
that monsters come out of the
What
ground.
about
Now,
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, what about Halo over
No.
Gears?
Ooh,
That's a thought.
I like
could
that
see
one.
that. I could see that being thrown on like sci-fi.
Mhm.
You understand? And it's easier to get on board, but at the same time, again, what is the race of the arbiters? You understand? That's a big alien structure. What are you gonna CGI that?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? CGI
Yes.
costs a lot of
And
money. And
you know
again,
how many?
networks have to have the budget to produce
All
something
right, so
like
let's
that.
say
Okay,
a
now
big
every network is
company.
broke. Is
Let's
bankrupt
let's
right now.
let's just say a
I'm not
big
I'm
company
not saying
does
that, but
take that on.
that's money.
What do you mean? I'm
Let's
thinking
say that's what I'm
Netflix.
saying. Let's say
Netflix be
a
taking
big.
chances on
What if
everything.
the money was an
All right,
issue?
so all right, so if money's not the issue, Netflix takes it,
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
right? Let's just say for the meantime, for what it's worth, we're gonna have Halo being shown on Netflix. All the
That watch
people that
Netflix.
are on the that are on, not even that watch Netflix, all the people that are Sony, you know, game heads, you understand? They're gonna wall out. Oh,
Yeah,
why
No
Halo? Da
way.
da da da
I
da.
No
Da.
believe
way.
that.
And
If
I
don't get me
believe
anything,
wrong.
that.
I
Don't get me
think
wrong. People are gonna watch,
pers-
but I'm just saying, like,
personally, I think that exactly.
I think even
And
Sony
not
people
only that,
played
that'll probably be like the Sony
Halo.
guys would probably be
Halo.
like, oh man, like oh Halo made it. Wait, God of War
God of
can be a
War.
good. Yeah, exactly. 1000%.
But God of War would be good too.
Yeah, yeah.
My
Especially
God.
with the direction they're going
Um.
towards, like with
Hey
his son and all
Netflix,
that.
DM us ASAP. We have ideas for you.
Sponsor us.
Oh, all right. So, anybody else have an idea? Like, what would
wait,
you
but
make it?
hold up. But I'm just saying, right? So look, right? Let's just say maybe like there's a good 30 video game movies, right? That they started off as a video game and went into a film. Now, there are corny movies like Rampage with The
Right.
Rock,
Hmm.
right?
Correct.
Doom with The Rock,
Okay,
you
I
understand?
see it's trending.
Doom
I see
with
the
The Rock,
trend.
you understand?
I mean,
And
it
it's
can't
just
be the
like,
game. It's got to be the Rock. You
Gotta
just
be
you
the
just
Rock.
made it. It got to be the Rock. 100%.
fine,
100% wouldn't
fine.
lie to you.
But but there are films that I think that there are games that have been turned to films that I think
Hmm.
worked. Example, Detective
Oh
Pikachu.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I was to be honest, I was like, nah, I'm not with it. Like I just thought it was gonna be corny. It does have cheesy moments and some things that are unbelievable, to
Hmm.
fathom. But I will say, the CGI for the Pokemon looked A1. They
Yeah,
really
they were
worked. It
amazing.
felt like that world was
Hmm.
Yeah.
believable. So,
Have they talked about a sequel coming out?
I mean, I would like to see a sequel because Ryan Reynolds is freaking awesome in that movie. His voice alone,
but that's all he did was a voiceover. You
exactly,
can't
and
have
he
but you
blew me
can't have
away.
a sequel to that. That makes no
Yes,
sense. He came out of Pikachu because Mewtwo took him out. What are we gonna put?
Spoiler
exactly.
Ryan Reynolds
warning.
back into the next one?
Yeah, we out
All right,
here.
I'm sorry.
But the
If
movie's old though.
if you haven't seen it
The
yet
movie's
in
old.
this day and age, that's your problem.
Listen,
Spoiler
I'm just saying.
alert.
listen. I'm not gonna say spoilers, but the movie ends pretty freaking amazing. One
Got
thousand
you.
percent. Uh,
A video game that I would love to be seen into a film, and it's one that I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys heard out there, and even you fellas, is Uncharted,
Oh,
Mm,
of
Ill,
course.
ill,
right?
disgusting.
What?
Uncharted. No, listen, those games were done
Mm-hmm.
phenomenally. Yes, each one repeated what the last
Mm.
one did, but I felt that each one, after the previous, edged out the one
But
prior to that. Now, that's saying a lot because my favorite out of the whole, four games is still part two. That whole scene with like you climbing up the train and the train is about to
Yeah, that's
fall,
true.
I think was amazing. Now, I would hope that the film, if that ever comes to fruition, actually is good because of the fact that we have they spoke about what's his name, Tom Holland being the young Nathan Drake. So that would be my vote. Would be Uncharted into
me
Nah,
me personally
hell yeah.
on your film choice, just to break it down, I think the Uncharted series is so good that it will be so hard to pull off something that visually looks good in the sense of wow, man, this is actually better than the video game.
It would be kind of like making
it will be so
Indiana
hard
Jones.
because The
That's
Witcher.
basically what it is.
Hmm.
True. Yeah, it would be
Absolutely.
like Indiana Jones.
That
But
makes
that's
so
the
much
thing.
sense.
I feel like Witcher just set like
A
really a
precedent.
high ass bar. A
A high
high ass bar.
bar.
Dudes really set the bar. Like
Shout out
no
to Henry
no s-
Cavill. He did really good.
exactly. No spoilers at all coming from me.
I personally haven't seen it
Exactly. And
because
you need to.
I didn't care to
You need
watch.
to.
Hold up, hold up. But that's because I didn't care to play the
I didn't
games
play the
Bro,
yet, right?
games.
And
It's amazing.
I know
All right.
everyone gets on me to play the games, but I just for right now
it's a
I
I have
can't
a
get
commitment.
into
question.
it.
I have a question. Should you play the games before watching the show?
I don't care if
I
you do.
I
Just
played
watch it.
three. I played three, and I watched it. I felt it was because like the characters,
Hmm.
but this one is more like a. It's weird. It's like a beginning story, and three is like you
Yeah.
already know most of the people. So I would say technically watch the show then
Oh,
play.
okay.
But I
Me
heard not to
personally,
play part one. It
played
aged
or
really
not,
bad.
played it or not, that show is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like it
Mm.
kind of makes you think like, man, is the game really that good? Like is like that's how I felt watching it.
Yeah.
Like by episode 2, I was hooked on just a song alone.
Did you play the game before you watched the show,
Never
or did
played
the
the game.
show, make you want to play the game?
Made me want to play the game 1000%.
Copy.
it
Am I
made me
gonna
want to
get to it?
replay it.
Maybe not.
Maybe
Maybe
that's a
So
not.
commitment,
if I
bro.
all right,
That's
then
60 hours, bro.
so then what
Plus.
you're saying is because I haven't played the game or watched the show, you're suggesting that I should watch the show, then it could possibly get me to
I'm
play the
telling
game.
you
Yeah,
right now, it will
I
make
think
you.
Then
either
I
way
could
you're fine because the
But
game is really that
okay.
good.
yeah, I gotta
Okay.
say, man, this show.
Which are the same developers that are making
Exactly.
Cyberpunk.
So they
Ooh.
got a good.
So
Ooh. I did not know that.
That's a
Another
that's a
topic
sweet
for
spot.
another
I did
time.
not know
Another topic for another time.
that.
wait, I just want to throw this out there. I still think though, I know I mentioned that Pokemon Detective Pikachu was one of the better video game to
Mm.
movies. Um, but if you haven't seen Ready Player One,
I
I
haven't
highly
seen it.
suggest you
I
look
have
into
not
watch
seen
that
it
film
either.
because I will honestly say it's everything that I feel we as gamers go through and we would hope to envision in the future. And that's where I'm gonna leave my stance on the whole video game topic. Cause yeah,
All
Uh,
right.
we gotta
So,
move
that
on to the
sounds
next
good.
one.
So let's throw it on to the next topic. I believe it's going to Chris, right? Chris, you got the next one for
Yeah,
us?
yeah. So my topic is your top 3 games of 2019.
Ooh, that's nice.
mm,
So I'm gonna
That's
start.
that's good.
I don't know if you guys want to go like everybody's number 3, then number 2, like that. I think it would be better that way.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
my
Yeah,
number
that's
3
best.
is Days Gone. I don't know if you guys played that.
Oh,
It's for
definitely did.
PlayStation.
Haven't played it yet, but
Um,
it's on
Definitely,
my
definitely did.
zombie
radar.
game. You're a guy like you have it's after a like epidemic or whatever, zombie, typical zombie story. Um you with this guy like your best friend. He's the only one that survived. Your wife supposedly died, but later on, whatever. I don't want to spoil it.
spoilers.
Uh,
Okay. He dipped a
the
toe in the spoiler.
it's pretty good open world game. Like the motorcycle, you can upgrade it pretty
Mm,
good. The guns are fun to play with. The best thing is the hordes. Like towards the end of the game, you have to like eliminate hordes like
mhm.
to finish the game. And
Okay.
when they say hordes, it's like on screen it's like 50 plus, and it'll like there's no frame rate drops or nothing. So
Jeez.
it's pretty cool to see like all those zombies in one on your
It,
screen at once, just chasing you.
also, that's good to know that the frames don't drop when there's a lot.
Oh
Like
yeah,
honestly, 9 times out of 10, every game that tries to do too much, their frames just drop.
yeah.
Plummet.
It's a lot
Worse
of
than
people like
FPS.
a lot of people didn't expect too much from it, but it was to me it was a good surprise.
So with that being said,
I I would have played it, but I sold my PS4 to my good
For
brother
some
Nudie,
bagels.
so I'm gonna wait for the PS5 to hopefully have
It's worth it.
the
It's
the
worth
conditions
he's
it.
gonna
to
get
that
the
game.
PS5, ladies and gentlemen, and sell it for $200.
Then it's always about
So,
it's always that typical like there's like 3 different factions you could level up and all that stuff. It's
Speaking
pretty
of the
cool.
PS5, Sony still hasn't showed any system. They just showed the logo and that's it.
Yeah, that was terrible.
yeah, that was
That
kind
was
of
Yeah,
bugged.
not only
So
was that kind of bugged, it was kind of like, man, are they scared? Do you think they're
yeah,
scared
bro.
to reveal because of how? Oh wait, let's not get off topic. My
Yeah,
number
real
three
time, real
is
time.
number three is Gears of War 5. So
Mm.
Gears of War 5,
I
You're a
forgot
fan.
that game. Yeah, you're
Gears
right.
of War 5. So let's just say it's my number 3 solely because it's on Game Pass, because it is not worth $60.
Oh my god.
With that being said, because I got it for basically free,
Basically,
it was so worth the money. It was so worth the free, 100%.
it was so
The
weird.
campaign was phenomenal. I played the campaign with a good buddy of mine, and there's not to get too much into it, because just in case any of the viewers want to play,
I haven't played it yet.
there's
Neither have I.
a boss called the Matriarch, and boy, this boss alone sets the tone of the video game for you. It's like, man, it's not OP, like it's not something that you be on for like 5 hours, but you're gonna put 4.5, and you're gonna be like, shit, that almost took me 5. So you're just there, and you're just shooting this fucking beast down, and that alone makes that game a number 3 for me personally. But again, phenomenal game, just not worth $60. So guys, Game Pass, quick ad for Game Pass. You can get Game Pass right now for
Oh
$1.99.
my god, we're not
Oh
sponsored by
my
them.
goodness.
Hey, I'm an Xbox fanboy. I can't take it away from you. I'm sorry. But Kev, what is your number 3, Kev?
My number 3 would have to be Call of Duty, to be honest with you.
Ooh.
What?
That's
I
my
agree.
number. That's
That's a
my
good
number
game.
3.
Number 3.
Number 3, Call of
And you only
Duty.
get 3
Yeah, I
games.
know.
Your number 3 is Modern Warfare and Call of Duty.
That's a fact, bro.
Wow.
I think that was a really
It
well made
was. It's
game,
really
honestly, and I
solid.
still play it
I,
to this
I've
day.
I've come more fond of it the more I play it. Like at the
Yeah, you
beginning, I
hated
I
it at
agree.
first.
hated it. I hated the game, bro. Yo, it
No,
used to drive me up the wall, bro. But
it definitely still does. It
it's
definitely still does.
it's
I don't know. I think there's just
the
some
gun
guns.
the
Seven
the
two five.
gunplay
That
is
gun gotta
so
go.
satisfying, bro. Like
It is.
they really did what they had to do with the gun game, which makes it the game that it is. The only thing is like here and there, some kinks, like the footsteps are too loud or whatever the case is. But the game is really solid for what it is, and I also love the addition of the battle pass that they added.
Yeah.
I agree, but also I think that's low on a list. But that's your list, your opinion. I'm nobody to mess up your opinion.
Maybe somebody doesn't even have it on their list.
I mean, I don't
Mm.
at
Dun,
all.
dun.
I do not have it on my list.
I mean,
Yeah, pro.
with that being said, my game, my number 3 game released in 2019 would have to go to one that I thought was phenomenal. Um, really, I think pushed the boundaries for what the next one is to come, and that's the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Ooh.
I
That
loved
was
that
Resident
game.
Evil 3 coming out.
I thought, yeah, I loved that game. I thought that it it retained what Resident Evil 2 was with its horror and its survival horror element, but still brought what the previous ones before this Resident Evil 2 remake, and that's 6, 5, and 4 with the whole like arcadey over the shoulder. Um, the I'm not familiar with who voiced and portrayed both Leon and Claire, but I think they did a great job.
Yeah, the game looks really.
If you guys haven't played it, I recommend that you do play it.
It's only on
Uh,
PlayStation, right?
the
Nah, it's on everything.
no, it's actually
Oh,
on
okay.
Xbox. It's on
Bro,
Xbox
one
also.
thing about that game,
But it was worth the
that's
price.
probably the best looking game in 2019. The
No,
graphic
that's what I was
wise,
about to
what?
just say, bro. That game looks polished.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you
that
right
game.
now. Resident Evil.
It
From the
looked
moment
like
that I
Mr.
joined,
T's head, bro. That
I
shit
thought
is
it
shot.
was great.
Resident Evil is literally
The
the
only
most boring game
the
I've
only
ever
one
played.
Whoa.
But you haven't given this
You
game
I
gotta
a
played
fair
give it a
shake,
fair
though.
the only
shake,
one
You
that
haven't. You
had
huh?
gotta give
some
it a fair
entertainment.
shake.
And I'm gonna give it a fair shake because we wouldn't be the Fair Shake podcast, ladies and gentlemen, if I did not give Resident Evil 2 a fair shake. But the only one I would give it to, and it was because of the guy that you used to buy stuff from. He'll be like, "What are you buying?
Oh,
What
four.
are you selling? What are
It's
you
four.
buying?"
That's the
And that was
stranger.
like literally, I would go as a kid because I was like maybe like 15 playing Resident Evil 4. I think on the GameCube, or maybe I was 13. I don't know. Well, that was literally the only point I played the game for. That was it. I was just kept going to him, selling him stuff, just to hear, "What are you buying? What are you selling?" That's it. I think Resident Evil as a whole, and you guys could hate me for this. The viewers could hate me for this.
Oof.
I'll be the bad guy. Resident Evil it gets boring halfway through. Every halfway,
I'm just
every
saying.
halfway
I'm
mark,
just saying.
it's
Hold
boring.
on.
Nah,
All right, so that's if that's the case that you're making, then I gotta go. I gotta reiterate on something that you bold statement
God.
that you made, and that's in
Uh-huh.
Gears of War, right?
hmm.
Gears of War 1 to 5 is literally the gameplay doesn't
So you telling
change.
me you didn't cry when
Is
Dom died?
chest high wall, cover to cover, and that's it. And
What?
shotguns. Literally, if you play Gears of War, if you play
What?
Gears of War 1 to 5, it's literally shotguns, and if you're a god with snipers, and
No, no, no,
that's
no,
it.
no, 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 no.
Just throwing
Listen,
that out
listen,
there.
listen.
But let's go on to the number two of P's list.
Oh, that
Um,
reminds me of another day.
my number two is Star Wars Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen
Woo!
Order. Um, what can I say? I'm a big Star Wars fan, and that game did Star Wars justice. Like, it's not a corny like spin-off game or whatever. It's between, I think it's between 3 and 4. After like, oh yeah, because it's during like Order 66. But yeah, you can like customize your lightsaber color wise. The story's really good. The only thing I can say is it might be a little short, I feel, but I guess it's because I liked it so much that I breezed through it. But yeah, it's really good. Like I
Yeah.
suggest, even if you're not a Star Wars fan, like it has kind of it's not Dark Soulsy, it's not that hard, but they compare it to it.
Mm.
And I love Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I think that's a
I
great
love Dark
franchise
Souls
to
as
play.
well, bro.
Just
Mm,
imagine you using lightsabers to like chop. Well, you can't
Bro,
chop
nah,
people, but
Dark
I'm
Souls
pretty
got
sure. I'm pretty sure
some
I got hit with the
weapons.
Jedi mind trick. This is not the game you're looking for. I did not. I'm not gonna
Oh
lie.
my god.
Personally, my number two was Tom Clancy's The Division 2.
oh my
And
goodness.
boy, do I love me some looter shooters. Ah,
You definitely do. I give you that.
I heavy dabble,
I
ladies and
accept
gentlemen.
I accept Destiny for some reason.
Heavy dabble with the looter shooters. Except Destiny. That's for another topic for another day. I think overall, Destiny 2's loot pool and the reward, like the rewarding
Well, you
feeling
mean
you got.
Division, right?
Yeah.
You talking about the Division or
Yeah.
Destiny?
My fault.
Division
Division.
2.
So apologies. The Division
Gotcha.
2, the reward you felt after even just the story missions felt really good. I think that it was a solid game all around. I had fun fighting the hunters. I had a bunch of fun, and man, it would have probably been my number one. But I felt that what a lot of developers do, they shoot themselves in the leg. And you know what they did? They went and said, "Hey, we're gonna give you updates that don't fill the game with anything new. You'll get like a new specialist, but then it was like, man, give me some more. Like I already beat your game. I've put
And that's
massive
but that's
hours
your
into
Yeah,
it.
top. But that's
that's what
number 2 and you complaining about it?
I'm complaining
that's
about it,
what's
but it's that good that I'm putting it number two and I'm complaining about it. Like
nah,
that's
that's what
how
stopped
good
Okay.
the game is.
that's
The,
what
the
stopped
game
me
is a solid game
playing it.
all
Uh,
around. Don't get me wrong.
to each
Me
his own.
personally, we played it for like a couple weeks and I haven't touched it since. But
I got to
I
max rank and I was like, okay, what now? Like
exactly.
I believe I beat the game. I'm not too sure, but no, I did beat the game. I just haven't mastered my like skill, whatever I get to
hmm.
choose. So
Yeah.
that's where
Kev,
I'm
what's
up
your
to.
number two? I would like to hear your number
My
two.
number two is the Mons. Pokemon
Damn.
Sword
Oh,
and Shield,
Pokemon.
bro.
Oh,
Jeez.
I ha-
I back that
I
hundred
have
percent.
to
Jeez.
give props to Felipe and Pro for introducing me to the VGC world,
Oh,
because
you're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm deep diving in the competitive scene.
He dipped
Yeah,
more than a toe, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, it's really bad. I'm like really addicted to it. It's a problem now. um,
Some say they
yeah,
don't see him anymore.
I'll be on the Xbox and on Pokemon at the same time. That's how bad it
He's a
is.
double dabbler. He's a double
Yeah, for
dabbler.
sure, for
I
sure.
think that the Pokemon franchise, especially with this one, is like, for me at least. I can't speak on everyone's behalf. For me, I think that it progressively got better just by a
Hmm.
smidget,
Hmm.
and this one really allowed
It was
new
newcomer
players like
friendly. Yeah,
Kev to really get into the scene, and I think that's what's healthy for the community, and I think that's
yeah,
what
for
they did
sure.
good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Personally, to speak on the number two of Kev's number two, which is Pokemon, I think that for me, I was gonna put it on my list, but I took it off simply because it came so late in the year. And I know it's 2019 and all, but I felt like that's a smack in the face to every other game that I've played the entire year. If I gave it to something that literally one month later, it's in 2020. It's a 2020 release. Um, that being said, it's an amazing game. I think that
For sure.
it took a leap that it needed to, like it needed to run away from the 3DS due to the fact that one, the 3DS was only capable of so much. Right?
Hmm.
Am I right about that? Anybody that played the 3DS, like
Yeah, for sure.
it was only capable of so much with coming to the
But that's because of the
exactly.
Yeah,
hardware. I
And
think that's
that's
because of the
why
hardware.
this jump has made it to where you guys we're at the tip of the iceberg of what Pokemon can do right now on the
nah,
Switch.
nah. We're not even at the tippity top.
Listen, there's so much that they can throw at this game with
For sure.
and if they be consistent, I think that gamers now today, they don't want one update and then call it a day anymore. We want consistency, right?
Hmm.
And we want fullness. And fullness in video games is what what everyone craves. We don't want to be there 20 hours and then you beat everything, but damn, I feel like I could go another 10, but I did everything. And that's what Pokemon is. Pokemon allows you to make your own game. You want to just catch some shinies? Go ahead. You want to just battle the gym leaders? Go ahead. You make the game as hard
Yeah,
as you want it to be and as much fun as you want to. But I think that
exactly.
that's a great number two, personally.
For sure.
Pro, what's your number two?
Um, this one's kind of hard because like I've been thinking about it, and it's one that I've come to terms with that I probably play just as much just as much as I play Pokemon, but more than often I'm on it when I'm not playing Pokemon, and it's Mario Maker 2.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I
Um,
did not see that coming.
and 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 I say
Jeez.
this because
That's got to be a
again,
game.
again, I'm by my own nature, by who I am, I'm a
Mm,
creative by nature. You
yeah,
understand? And
I can
I've
see that.
spent countless of hours on Minecraft just building random stuff. I've spent countless of hours on Terraria. I'm lying, maybe like 20 hours, but I still build a countless amount of stuff. I play farm simulating games like my Farmville, whatever. I always forget the name of it. It's on the Switch. But Mario Maker 2 for me was that game that just me being able to make my own level and have my friends play it and make it both trying to find ways to make things both fun and hard at the same time. I think that's what I like to do, and I think that's why I love
Mhm.
Dark Souls so much, is because when you play a game that is deliberately hard and
Yeah,
you beat a boss or you beat a certain level, you feel
Yeah, that
accomplished as a
gratification
gamer.
is
that's
something
You
else,
understand?
100%.
That
100%.
gratification is a high that you
Yeah, for
chase,
sure.
right?
Hmm. True.
Now, Mario Maker, it's not Dark Souls by any means, but you could give it that aspect, that
Hmm.
feel of being a potentially hard game. Now, there's some people that won't go near it because they're afraid of
I'm gonna
trying,
be honest with you.
something
I'm one of those
something
people,
different.
bro. That game looks Like it would give me
But
fucking aneurysm.
but I will say though that in my honest opinion, 2019 Mario Maker 2 didn't edge out my first choice, but is definitely up there as one of my favorite games of 2019.
That's surprising. Honestly, that's real surprising. For number two, that's something I did not expect from anybody. But honestly, knowing that that's your number two, I actually want to get it now. I want to get it. I want to create something.
Actually, just to throw this out there, I actually got upset with myself for trading it in initially,
Oh,
right? So much so that my wife surprised me with it because she would just watch people play it on Twitch and on
Shout
YouTube.
out to Pro's
So she
wife,
was like,
man.
Shout
She's
out to the
MVP.
shout
shout
so
out
out
to
she
the
to
was
the
like,
missus.
she
wifeys.
was like,
Ladies and
my
gentlemen,
guy
shout
has
out
the
to the
flu.
wifeys out there.
He's basically dead. Let me surprise him, and she did. And
And,
for that, I'm grateful for her to bringing back
Back
wow.
into your life.
back into my life. With that being said, let's start off with the last rounds of top three
Number
games of 2019.
So my number one
Three.
is Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Ooh.
That's my
what?
it's like my favorite.
What?
Honestly, it's my favorite Fire Emblem game. Period.
Mm.
The past
Dude.
couple have been like kind of, and you have had to buy like different. They kind of try to do like a Pokemon route, like different versions, and you had to buy both to get the full story. Nah, this one, it's three different houses. Like let's say like Harry Potter or whatever,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
pick the house in the beginning, and then you go through the story, and then halfway through the story, there's a time skip, and like something crazy happens, whatever. And in the beginning, the three houses are friendly, but towards the end, they kind of at war. So it's cool. You fight the people that you're cool with in the beginning. So it gets pretty good, yeah. And then I don't know if you
Facing some
guys ever
enemies.
played Fire Emblem, but there's like a classic mode, which is if you're they're
Permadeath, right?
permadeath. So it makes it even
Ooh.
if one of your people die, you're restarting that game because
I might
you don't want
You
to
I
know,
lose
might
them.
and
I
that's
might have to give that game a fair shake. It sounds really fun.
It's good. It's really good. I
Especially with the
suggest it.
twist of
and
that
the thing
classic
is,
mode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way you gotta play it.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think the
man.
thing is for me is that again, you brought up another great point. You understand? Games that give you that gratification, like the last Fire Emblem that I played that I really like put my all into it was Path of Radiance, and that's when Ike was first
Oh, that was
introduced,
a while
and that was
ago.
back on the
Yeah.
GameCube. And yes, that was a very long, maybe like over 15 years ago that I could remember, possibly. Don't quote me on
Jeez.
that. But the one that I played,
How
the most
old are you?
recent one was the one that you mentioned, was on the DS. And to be honest, I really wasn't feeling it. You understand? And even with the permadeath, I didn't feel like wow, I survived this whole ordeal of this. I went here and then I was able to survive. It just didn't give me that. But I'm going to give. I promised myself the fair shake to Fire Emblem
It
Three
deserves it,
Houses
man.
when it's under 50.
It's definitely deserves it, man.
But he's giving it a fair
No,
shake.
knowing Nintendo, that won't be for a
I
long
don't want to take
time.
too much time, but yeah,
Amazon is your
Oh, for
that's
friend.
sure.
my
For
probably
sure.
my
Definitely.
favorite game in a while.
Wow. Wow. I I'll go. So my number one personally, it's it has to be games, right, guys?
Of
It has to be
course.
games.
Yeah, it's
1000%.
a
It's like
game.
okay. Because I was gonna say a DLC, but I didn't know if we could do that. Um,
If it fell in
Yeah, you could
2019,
do it. I think
it's
I
part of the
agree. Yeah.
game.
a deal. Can we do
Yeah,
DLCs?
go.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Personally, I think one of the best, like greatest DLCs of all time dropped this year. Can anybody guess the game?
Shadowkeep, Destiny 2.
1000%.
That's hilarious.
I'm trying to
And you
think
guys
of
know why
Lee.
Shadowkeep? You guys know why Shadowkeep it's Shadowkeep.
Oh, it
You got it.
is.
Oh, it is. Get the
Oh, I thought you was
get out of
playing.
here.
Get it? No,
Wow.
I wasn't joking.
Wow.
So and here's why, guys. Best DLC ever. It became fucking free.
Mm.
Got his ass.
Recently?
1000%. What?
I guess he means
Recently,
the game
No.
Shadowkeep.
became
With the
free.
I would
introduction,
say
with the introduction of Shadowkeep, the DLC itself became a free to play game, the entire game.
He means
So that's
Destiny
why they
became
introduced
free to
Shadowkeep.
play,
Yes,
which was
Yeah.
a smart move.
100%.
Yeah.
So
I could see that.
Definitely got
me
me into it.
personally,
Wow, that's surprising.
anything.
That's
Yes, yes, and here's why.
If you guys thought Mario Maker 2 was surprising, my man
Listen,
came out of super left field.
here's why, and here's why it was the best to me. Best game I played in 2019. Because when it first came out, I beat the game 1000%. Right.
Mhm.
I have 2 children, 2 beautiful kids. Right, and they shattered my game.
Oof.
The one time that you forget to get that disc warranty for $5.
Don't get this, people. Buy digital.
And my game breaks. But with the introduction, I was like, man,
Don't support GameStop. That's what
I'm,
you're saying,
Basically.
baby.
1000%.
I would not be getting. I would not be
1000%,
getting
like,
my Xbox. The new Xbox coming out. Would not be getting it from GameStop.
I'm with you on that
But
one.
seriously, guys, with Shadowkeep coming out in 2019, it introduced Destiny back into the pool of games that I play. So I want to say that in 2019, considering the question at hand, that was one of the best games I played
I like that
this
one.
year.
I like that one.
Though I did not buy the actual DLC itself, I had fun.
That's one I
I had
feel we
fun,
have to
For
get
and
back
sure.
into because we
I
dabbled
had
heavy in
fun.
that one.
Bro,
I
That
had
held us.
fun. I had
Mhm.
so
That
much
honestly
fun.
held us
Don't get
down
me
till
wrong.
COD came out.
I
Yeah.
think
Oh
Exactly.
wow,
Exactly.
the multiplayer is really solid in that
Yeah.
game.
Gambit used to be
Exactly.
so fun with you guys.
Oh my
Gambit
God,
is the
Gambit
best
was
mode.
Yeah, we have to get
literally
back on that.
That mode is the
We have to
wave.
get back on that.
it literally it
And the
changed the game for me.
exotics.
Exotic.
Again, I'm
Let
telling
me
you,
get that one
I'm
time for the
gonna
one
On
time.
time.
one time for the one time. Let's hear it, Keith.
Me?
Let's hear it. Let's get the chat.
The number one.
Exotics.
Ooh. Heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Sponsored by Exotic.
Who's next? Who's
So
next?
Kev, what's your number one? Kev, what's your number one?
My number one would have to be, since I'm a fanboy, Sekiro.
Ooh, I like that. I like
Again,
that.
Game
this
of the
conversation
Game of the
year?
is
year,
too fire.
baby.
This
From
conversation is too
software,
fire.
we did it again. Bro.
I like
Another
that.
hit.
Yo, the games that they
Another
put
hit.
out, bro, is absolutely phenomenal, bro. I spent at least I would have to say 300 plus hours in all the Dark Souls games. Like the replayability of those games are insane, bro. You could go and be just like Pro said, you could go and do whatever you want. You could make a night or whatever the case is. But the thing that really set apart Sekiro from Dark Souls was that you had to be the aggressor. In Dark Souls, you would have to play very defensively and time your rolls or whatever the case is. But in Sekiro,
Mm-hmm.
you had to be the aggressor. You had to make sure you have your parries on point or whatever the case is for you to get the final blow.
So you had to be elite.
For sure. Yeah, it
100%. You had to be
was a
elite.
great experience for me. It was very difficult. Like I said, going from Dark Souls to Sekiro, that switch that you have to have mentally, it was really hard. But at the end, it was very really gratifying. Yeah, I understand why it won Game of the Year.
That's awesome. I think that's a great
It's the son of the police.
That's a great number one, honestly. That's a great
Can't
number
live in
one.
New York without hearing that.
Now here we go, guys. Ladies and gentlemen,
I really want to
guys
hear
know
this.
before
So-
Pro gets hold on, Pro. Give me 1 second. Let me tell the people something. Pro is literally one of the most high maintenance video gamers I've ever met in my entire life. He is my brother, but this guy, he needs a game. Like his number one right now, I'm definitely buying it right now.
I think I know what it is.
His number one
I think
game.
I know
Do
what it
you?
is.
I think I know what it is too. I have an
High
idea.
maintenance.
Right.
So Pro, give us
So
your number one.
I just want to throw an honorable mention out there, and it's my fault because I started giving it its fair shake. But like everyone else in this world that buys one game and then decides to buy 10 more and not finish, goes out to Outer Lands.
Outer
Outer
Lands.
Outer
Worlds.
Worlds,
Isn't it
Outer
Outer
Worlds.
Worlds?
Outer Worlds,
Yeah.
Outer
Oh,
Worlds, Outer Worlds, and
yo,
Worlds.
for sure.
I'm saying that because I'm remembering off the top of my head, because I love the Fallout series. I prefer 3 over 4. I stood away from 76 because I
Oh
thought
my
that was
god.
hard on. Um,
Garbage.
and Skyrim was to this day one of my favorites. But I gotta jump back on the
Yeah,
Outer
I
Worlds.
gotta play. I gotta finish
But
it.
my my number one game of 2019, it's kind of hard because I really, as much as I would love to say that I played all of the big games, I gotta be honest with myself. Um, that game goes to Luigi's Mansion 3.
Ooh, I was not
Oh,
picking that. I did not know that.
Jeez.
Luigi's Mansion 3.
yo,
And I know that 2 out of my top 3 games are on the Switch, but I'm gonna give my reasoning why. Right? For starters, the gameplay is, again, Nintendo manages to do
yeah,
something
bro.
that I don't think most companies could do. They could build on something, even if it's incrementally small. They could build on something and make it better. The fact that I'm able to play Luigi's Mansion on my TV, I could play Luigi's Mansion on my bed, and I could play Luigi's Mansion while I'm taking a shit. I think that was one of my favorite games. Um,
I was
I think that it's a solid game. The Luigi playing with like your friends, it's is really fun. Like whenever I get the chance, I play with my wife,
goals.
and we go through the different levels.
That's
But
nice.
honestly, I think it's really great. Just for sake of just to stir the pot. I like to be the stick that stirs the shit pot. I'm gonna throw this out there. I think the biggest flop of 2019 and of the last decade is still Kingdom Hearts 3, but that's just me.
Is,
Whoa,
is this
whoa,
another
whoa.
topic for another
We're
day or
Another
something?
topic
we're
for
trying to
So
another
Because
topic
I
for
gotta
another
listen,
defend, I gotta defend it a
we're
little
trying to
bit.
gain viewers and listeners, and he's gonna bring the controversy on the first cast, ladies and gentlemen. Come
I say
on.
I'm giving it its fair shake, but that's
I
just
didn't
me.
play it, but I've heard some bad
Um,
Wow.
stuff. I've heard some
Wow.
terrible stuff.
Listen, I'm gonna say right now that
wait,
Kingdom
wait,
Hearts,
before we continue, what was the game that you thought I was gonna say is my number
Pokemon.
one?
I thought it was gonna be
Pokemon.
Pokemon. I thought it was gonna be Pokemon.
Pokemon.
No, no, no. I
Man's
love
has a
Pokemon.
thousand
Again,
hours in Pokemon.
I love
Guns out.
Pokemon. I love Pokemon. But Kev mentioned it earlier, right? So I'm gonna just piggyback off. I think it's a
For
great
sure.
game. I love Pokemon. I love the franchise. But you asked us
Whoa.
what is our top 3 games
I
of
like it.
2019,
No, I
and it
like
goes
it.
to
Copy.
Luigi's
Okay,
Mansion
Copy.
3.
Unpredictable.
to each their own.
Unpredictable.
You know.
I
I
stole
don't
your
think
thunder. It's all right. I stole your
Now,
did
thunder.
anybody.
now, gentlemen, we gotta speed up the time because
All
we
right,
only
so
limited.
let's just jump into
So
the next
Kev's
topic.
topic.
Let's go,
Oh,
Kev.
speaking of Pokemon,
There
how
we
do you
go.
guys feel in the direction that Pokemon is headed towards? Dropping these DLCs instead of dropping a
Oh,
Black and White 2 or Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon,
oh
whatever the case
man.
was. How do you guys feel about that, Felipe?
I, I wanna know what you think first because I can speak for
Me,
days, but I want to hear what Keith
I
says.
personally love this because I would much rather spend $30 on 2 DLC packs or whatever, or
Mm-hmm.
for
Or the one because it's whatever console, whatever version
yeah,
you
yeah.
own.
Yeah, I would much rather spend that than spend the $60 for a whole new game plus whatever. Because what they usually do is they just add small stuff to the prior game that had came out already. So,
True.
and from what I've seen, that presser that they had, the content, the new Pokemon that's coming in, I feel like I'm gonna play Pokemon. Like I'm gonna run my Switch to the ground.
Tough for sure. For
Yeah,
sure. I'm
I'm right
pretty
there
sure
with.
I heard my Switch whistling yesterday. I'm like, shit.
that
Gotcha. But
that shit was like SpongeBob. Help me.
I, that Switch is literally like asking me, please put me to sleep mode. Nah, man, stay awake. Stay awake, my man. But no,
I,
to say on that topic, um, me personally, I love the idea, but I also feel that maybe maybe drop them a little more separate. I don't know if you guys like can deal with the June and then again like November. I feel like that's too close together. You should give us one in like March
I
and then the
agree.
next one in like a September.
The first one's too
I
far.
feel
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
the
in
first one's
June,
so
right?
back end of the
It's in
year.
June.
But
Yeah,
personally,
it's
I
true.
love the idea. I love the DLC idea because again, I'm not gonna buy a game for 60 that literally $55 of that game I've played already.
Yeah,
You
for
understand? I've
sure.
played $55 of that
That's
game
how I
the game
feel. That's
before,
exactly how I feel.
and I'm only getting $5 of content
Yeah,
half the time. I played black and then I played white too because I thought, hey, let me get the other one. And white too, there was like maybe an extra mission.
what I
That's it.
the only thing that I
For
would say, I'm
me,
sorry, the only thing that I would say, Black
no, go,
Two
go.
and or White Two was like 100 times better than the last one.
That yes, I say that.
They knew they dropped the ball on that one, so they
Um,
had to fix it.
um, for me, I love the whole DLC thing. Uh, but what I really like about it is I gotta throw this out there. We finally getting another fighting water type,
Oh
and
yes.
Urshifu
Oh,
looking kind of
clean,
beast right now.
Cl-
Looking
Clean.
kind of
looking
beast.
My
And
clean.
man.
once I get my hands on him, I'm throwing it out there. You getting either a jolly handed Urshifu or adamant, but you getting
You
smacked with
getting the
something.
Oh,
uts.
oh my god. I'm nicknaming mine's Floyd Mayweather. 100%, wouldn't lie. Floyd Mayweather will be the name of my Urshifu. That guy's gonna be packing a punch.
And then on the top of that, I love the new art work that they did on like Moltres and
Yeah, for
Oh
Zapdos.
sure.
yeah.
I think they look wave.
Yeah.
They they
I
definitely
think
went
they're really doing
creative.
something different. I like that they're doing something
The
different.
most important
Again,
thing,
is Nintendo getting better
the
little
most
by little.
important thing they added my man's Blastoise.
No,
Facts.
and they gave him Gigantamax. Chris, what do you think about the content?
Um, like you said, I think it's a little too like the first one's too far, and then it's too close to the second one. Like they should have
100%.
made it like April, and then like you said, March, April, something like that. The first one, and the other one maybe August, September. I understand them not
Exactly.
making.
Same.
It's fine they don't make another next gen or a mainline series every year. They shouldn't do that. I
Mhm.
feel they should do what they're doing now. Make a mainline DLC and then whatever. Like what's gonna be next? The Diamond Pearl remake or whatever. Hopefully, but that would be. Hopefully they, or even maybe even more. They do another two DLC
Exactly.
and
Yeah,
then
they could go with the
do
formula
the
that a lot of
Diamond and
people are
Pearl
going.
because
100%.
them rushing it. I think that's when they mess up. But
Also, you brought up a good point there when you said that they should keep going with the DLC because honestly, that formula is working with video games nowadays, where you get a good base game and you just keep adding to that. I don't think the Pokemon community wouldn't mind just hey give us more DLCs every 4 months or so. Maybe that's a little bit too fast, but I think that point you just brought up was actually amazing.
Yeah.
I would like that.
one more thing before we like change the topic, I would like to see a Pokemon game. I don't know if the Switch can handle it with all the regions. Like you could pick which one you start in, but
Oh, that would
eventually
be fire.
you get
Oh
all
my
the
god.
badges or whatever you fight. Like I would like something like that. I don't know if the Switch can handle
It
that because that's a lot of regions,
oh
badges.
it
But
Yeah,
that
oh
would
yeah
be
for
that's
sure.
like a dream game of mine.
for real.
That's not only a dream game. I'm gonna add to that dream. Say you play with friends. Like how Ash gets Brock and Misty. I better get to play with all four of you guys at the same time. And we
Oh, it
all
would be
fight the gym
cool.
leader
It'd be
and we kick
cool
his
if
ass.
like
I could be the
Back to
gym
back.
leader.
yeah, like
one Hundred
I'll meet
percent.
you like you didn't know that I'm the champion or
Yo,
whatever.
meet me on Route
Yeah.
7
Oh my
Um.
god.
Yeah, bro.
next topic.
Uh,
Alright, so I'm gonna just close this out because we're coming up on our last 10 minutes. My topic is transportation of the MTA and how sometimes I look up to God and I ask him, is this really a thing?
The
oh,
MTA.
So this is something that happened to me this week recently actually. I had to go out to Brooklyn to take care of some stuff. because I want to be a better me. So the more that I learn, the more that I progress
100%.
for myself. I think I'm gonna have. I want to live the best life
For sure.
possible. That being said, on my commute back, I take the R train. And if you New Yorkers know how it is to take the train, y'all know what it is to
Oh
take the
my
train,
god.
right? So on the R train, I always walk to the first or the back car. I never in the middle because that's where everybody bunches up at. So in the first car on the R train, I get on it, and that train looks bootleg ghetto, like it came out some riggedy gutter. I don't know what the fuck, but it was terrible. So I get on it, 4 stops, and I catch the D train on Barclays or
Yeah, Atlantic
Atlantic
Ave.
Ave Barclay, whatever you want to call it. So I sit down. I get a seat. I get that perfect corner seat. You know when you got the shape, the L shape, that base where
Oh
you
yeah, yeah.
like
I know what you're
you
talking about.
cradle into the window and you got that nice seat. That's the best
Uh
seat
Which
on a
huh.
one? Which
train,
one?
right?
The
When you know like the L, like let's say it's an L, right? Is the one where you put your shoulder, either your left shoulder, your right shoulder to the
yeah,
window,
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
where you
but
can
those
see
are
where
like
like
the
you're
letter
running.
trains.
Those
You
are
don't
the
see
old.
those really on
Those
the
are the old
number.
Yeah,
ones. Yeah, those are
But
old trains.
okay,
yeah. Those are the ones. That's the spot that
Those
I
are
okay.
the
prefer,
trains from
right?
like the Warriors or some shit like
So
that.
I'm sitting down, right, and I'm now with like 4 stops in,
Hmm.
right, and this older woman, she sits right directly across from me, and she's just a little heavy set, not too much. She she slim
Got
thick,
you.
and she got the when when they sit down and the cheeks spill out
Oh,
from the sides. That's what
got
she
you.
got going on,
Man.
right?
Got you.
So then maybe on the next following like 2 stops, a guy comes sits next to me. He sees that I'm a big dude, so he's like, he gives me that look. I'm like, yeah, you good. So he
He gave
sits
you the
down,
nod, the
right?
New York
So
nod.
now
Yeah.
now I got a guy sitting to my left, right? I'm cradled up against the window. At this moment, there's the seat that's right in front of me that's empty because remember, like I said, I got the
Right.
young lady sitting in that spot, and then next to her, another guy sits down. So there's that one spot empty, right?
Hmm.
As I'm sitting down, guys, and I couldn't fucking make this shit up.
It's
This
New York,
fucking guy
baby.
comes in, and this is one of those things where everybody has their own style. Everybody has their own, however you want to wear your fit is on you. But me, I outgrew the whole sagging pants. You
Yeah, same.
understand? But this guy was on the next level of sag, right? Homeboy walks in, and at this point, I hadn't realized. I hadn't like, I'm like, okay, I'm listening to whatever I'm listening to in my headphones, and he doesn't look at the lady. He's like one of these like real New York guys. Like, I see an empty seat, I'm gonna take it,
Oh man.
right? He was one of these guys, and motherfucker goes to sits down and sits on my fucking lap. The train's
Oh
not even
man.
moving. It's not stopping. He sits on my fucking lap,
Yo.
and I could feel the fucking heat that came out of this guy's ass
Yo.
crack touch my
Uh,
fucking my legs.
Oh
And right there
man.
I lost it. I'm like, homie, like, are you fucking serious? You just sat on my lap.
yeah,
Didn't
man.
apologize, didn't
Mhm.
think
Man,
nothing. And I looked at
that's
him like
it,
you can't be
dude.
fucking real.
Yeah.
He looks at me like I got 10 fucking snake heads coming out of
And,
my
and,
body. And I'm like, I
and
can't
no,
believe this.
and
So
knowing
I
New
was so
York,
upset,
he probably thought you were in the wrong because that's literally New York.
right? So I was so fucking upset, right? That I stood there and I looked at this fucking guy, and I was like, I had to text people. So I texted you guys and I said,
Literally sent
"Yo,
a
I'm
picture
just
of the
throwing that
back
out
of his
this.
bean.
I took a picture of this guy where you can see like half his profile face, and I asked him if you guys are related to this guy. Let me know now, because I'm about to
That's my
swing on him.
cousin.
You understand? I was about to swing on him. I
Yo.
didn't care how far away from home I was. I didn't care who was around me. That's just a level of disrespect that if you can't have the decency to say sorry, we got a
Man,
That's
problem.
literally.
On that note, I want to say Astros cheated, right?
Got you.
yeah.
Just throwing that out there. The
Got you,
Astros
ladies and
cheated.
gentlemen.
100% wouldn't
Uh,
So,
lie. That's the truth, bro.
100% would not lie to you. But we're gonna have to start closing it out here. It was an amazing time. Again, this is the first ever Fair Shake podcast, and man, oh man, I can't wait for part 2. I can't wait for part 3, 4, 5. We're gonna keep the ball rolling. The content's gonna be coming. Look for the YouTube, look for the Twitter account, the Instagram, all socials. Follow the Fair Shake podcast. With that being said, I'm gonna pass it over to Chris right now into closing this out, closing this wonderful hour out.
It was fun, guys. Hopefully we can keep doing this, and hopefully, people listen and they tune in, because I think we got something special here. Other than that, you guys could, like Felipe said, follow Fair Shake is gonna come up on YouTube. We're gonna have a Twitter, Twitch, all that
All the
stuff.
socials, ladies and gentlemen.
You can follow us separately
all the
also.
socials.
You can follow us separately also. Everybody's name is pretty much, mine's is Killer Ghost everywhere.
We'll have
Felipe
that down
Savage,
in the description.
yeah,
for sure.
But stay tuned, man. There's gonna be big things coming. Big things coming.
Yeah, I would have to say I had a great time. um, look forward to the next one. It's your boy Keith. Holla at y'all.
Honestly, guys, I want to thank everyone who took the time to listen to us talk and ramble. I think that this was a really great opening episode for us. Uh, I want you guys to get ready to expect for the upcoming future of getting to know us more in detail. The people that do know us will get to know us on another level. Um, we're gonna have special guests throughout the year, people who we feel are, essential to our lives. Um, Video games, movies, music, life stories, everything, all of that we're gonna bring to the table. If there's something you don't like, please feel free to comment. If
100%.
there's something you do like, please feel free to comment. You know, it's 2020. People are gonna come up with the most corniest things. You know,
Also, don't be afraid.
um,
Don't be afraid to communicate with us. We're as wide open as we can be. We're prepared for literally anything, and we want to entertain you guys. We want to entertain you guys. So again, thank you so much for being here. I'm your host Felipe Savage, and with always, have a great night, have a great morning, get going. You got this. Goodbye.